My name's Berenson. I work at the Altar Tattoo in DeLand, Florida. I've been tattooing for just over 4 years now. Brittany's my mentor, the owner here. When you got a good boss, it's hard to go somewhere else, you know? I got into it kind of just by doing different art entities and stuff on the side. Like, I was painting murals full-time pretty much. I was doing side work at a gallery, a fine art gallery up in St. Augustine. And then in 2020, I graduated Flagler with a graphic design degree. And so I just had a goal of like being an artist. It wasn't really like, oh, I gotta do this. It was like, I'm either gonna paint, I'm either gonna do graphic design, but I really wasn't actually planning on tattooing. I started getting tattooed in college, and I was lucky enough to get tattooed by some like good artists, Zach Williams being one of them, old Zach Will on Instagram. Shout out. I kind of started to like the scene a little bit, and I painted a mural for Brittany's first shop, and she liked what I did and offered me an apprenticeship. My style would definitely be rooted in traditional tattooing, I think, but kind of taking it and tweaking it a little bit and making it a little bit more weirder. My first mentor, I could call him technically, he was a fine art painter, but he brought me up in the festival scene. So a lot of the first like intros I got to art were like really tripped out psychic paintings and stuff that honestly make bad tattoos, but super, super cool art. So I kind of take that and a little bit of like the boldness of tattooing and try and combine the worlds and make something that doesn't suck. While also like still being a good tattoo at the end of the day. There's a lot of artists out here doing kind of the same thing, and half of it's about, you know, making sure the client's happy, and half of it's putting something into the world you're proud of and you can stand behind. So I would say going into it not trying to do your style, just wanting to tattoo. Like my days are all over the place. Like I'll do a six-eyed eagle at noon, and then I'll do a fine line birth flower with some handwriting at 4:30. So I'm kind of just, you have to be open to just tattooing and learning different aspects of it and getting comfortable doing whatever, and that's kind of the goal. I mean, the style thing, I've just been lucky enough to have some really great clients that have let me do some custom stuff on them that put some work out in the world. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do it. Just be open to tattooing whatever and making it your best version of it. Sometimes like it's good to stay in your own lane, but also like you can improve while being in that lane too. And also like, I don't know, just do a good tattoo at the end of the day. Make sure your client's happy. I mean, being an artist is hard, you know, there's a lot of things that go into it, but I think if we're lucky enough to do it, then that should be enough right there. Like, you know, money, what all this stuff on the side schedule, like you get to wake up, make art every day, and that's the goal. Not everyone wants to get tattoos. You know, I have a lot of friends that don't have any tattoos, and I think it's a cheaper way to collect a piece of my art while also not having to commit to getting something on your body. And it's kind of fun. It's not, I don't have to get to make some paintings, and it's a little bit looser, and I love having the physical art too. I think in the digital world we're in, it's nice to make paintings still in art that you can hold. You can work 20 hours on a digital piece but never hold it, you know. Oh yeah, man, it's like prints, all that stuff. It's like, it's cool to take home a $20 print, you know, or $15 print, whatever it may be, but like, it is, man, yeah. And I mean, it's not just about tattooing, you know. Tattooing is based off of the paintings you do and the drawings you do, so it's all gotta start somewhere. Well, way before tattooing, you know, it was, the murals were my focus, and making art and stuff, and just getting in front of people's eyes. So I think growing up, I did a lot of like, you know, tagging and graffiti stuff, and I think I saw that I could live on buildings and, you know, underpasses and old cars and shit, and then it could live on paper and it could live on wood, and then Brittany taught me it could live on skin, and yeah, you just kind of snowball from there, really. The skin is, I think, my favorite at the end of the day, but like I said earlier, it's cool to give something to everyone. We're all friends. We all hate each other at the same time. We're just a close-knit crew. Everyone that works here has been together for years at this point. I'm born and raised here, and so is Brittany, so there's a lot of overlap as well as other artists here. It's just comfortable. It feels like a second home a little bit. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, we've had people who've come through here that have not worked out, but because it is such a small shop here, and we really do feed off of each other, and I think that's the most important part about working somewhere, is being able to be like, hey, tell me I suck today, or tell me what I did wrong, and not, you know, be butthurt about it. You know, take criticism and critique well, and so I think we can do that and also give each other shit at the same time.
Yeah, it builds character.
It does, yeah, you know. The fact that I get to be creative when I want to be. Good music and people around me, and sometimes just slowing down and, you know, looking at things from a different perspective and realizing that, like, it's really not that bad, you know. Days are bad, but my life doesn't suck. Golf, my wife, my dog, our cats, cars, all this stuff. Life's great, man. It's awesome. It all gets me going. Oh yeah, dude, there's definitely days where I'm like, the last thing I want to do is go to work right now, or like the last thing I want to do is draw, but like that's where I get to do one of my other hobbies for that day. And then fortunately enough, after about 12 hours, it's something I do want to draw, or I do look forward to coming in and doing a tattoo. Yeah, man, you gotta give yourself a little bit of space in the creative world to breathe. You can't be 100% all the time. You know, it's exhausting. You'll burn out. First starting to tattoo.
Yeah. What would you say to
younger Chase? I would say stop using such big fucking needles. The stuff for the first year is pretty thick. But that was me just trying to create a look without thinking about the technical side of things. So now I would say look at the technical side of things. If it's a little thinner, when you do it fresh, it'll look fine in a year. And just enjoy each tattoo, even the ones you don't want to do in the beginning. Yeah, and I mean, like, that's the thing, like I was saying earlier about having like different stuff back to back is, you know, it's like I get stoked to do something I want to do, but I also get stoked on the person coming and wanting, you know, just like handwriting tattoo. You know, it's like that's everything to them. But at the same time, my client who has 10 pieces for me with full color, that's everything to them too. But as long as I can make that day for the client, whether it's a little handwriting piece or a big color piece, that's tattooing to me right there. I think what matters to me, is just good tattooers creating good experiences for their clients. I think there's a lot of people wanting to get into the industry, and I think there's a lot of ways you want to get tattooed. It's like, oh, it's cheap here, it's this there, but I think at the end of the day, like, you got to care about your clients. This is about the only thing that ever kept me focused was tattooing, I think. You can drop a pencil on paper and walk away from it and come back a week later, but you can't do that with your client. You know, you can take 20 smoke breaks, but that's not conducive to getting an efficient tattoo done. So I think tattooing was actually the first thing that I was able to sit down, start and finish, and be like, oh, I'm satisfied by this, and not have a million unfinished paintings staring at me, you know.